This the life that I dream of. This the life that I dream of.
Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, I'm Ashley, and I hope you're having a productive day. So in today's video, it is part 2 of my 99 fun questions. So I went online and I found 99 questions about yourself that help you get to know somebody. So that's this fun video. I hope you guys will stick around, learn a little more about me, and let's hop into the questions. So number 1, what is your favorite food? My favorite food of all time is strawberry pie, specifically the strawberry pie my grandmother taught me to make when I was a little kid. She passed away when I was 13, but every time I make it, I still feel like she's there with me making it, and it's just a really fun experience. I always look forward to, the first strawberry pie I get to make of the summer, depending on when, strawberries come back into season. Today I'm even wearing my strawberry shirt, and I have strawberry fake nails on. So I just love strawberries. Number 2, if you were a car sinking in a lake, if you were in a car, wow, that's an important word. If you were in a car sinking in a lake, what would you do first? Probably try to open the door. If I can't open the door, I'd probably try to kick the window. But I think I'd try to open the door first. Number 3, have you ever ridden in an ambulance? Nope, never been in an ambulance. Thank goodness. Never had anything serious enough happen that I needed that I had to go in an ambulance. Now, when I fell in 2013 and broke my wrist, I have a metal plate in my wrist, and when I fell, I was at work, they called an ambulance, but my husband came and got me. So I didn't actually ride in the ambulance, but if he hadn't been able to come get me, I would have had to when I broke my arm. Number 4, can you pick up something with your toes? Yeah, I guess so. I sometimes have picked up socks before, like kicked a sock off and then picked it up with my toes. I haven't attempted picking up a lot of things with my toes, but I'm pretty sure I've done it before. Number 5, how many remote controls do you have in your house? So I'm trying to count in my head. I am married to somebody who is very much into stereo equipment, home audio equipment. So we have a pretty nice setup of speakers and receivers and Blu-ray players and 4K Blu-ray players and all that stuff. So I'm just going to take a wild guess that between all the bedrooms, the living room, anything I've forgotten, that we probably have 10 to 12 remotes. That's my guess. Luckily, we have a, one of those smart remotes that you can program, and we really only have to use a couple of remotes, but there's a lot of them. So now we are on number 6. Have you ever fallen asleep in school? Not that I remember. I was pretty engaged in school. Even though I've always had sleeping and insomnia problems. I didn't sleep the greatest, but I've always been I was always a person who enjoyed going to school and wanted to be there. So I'm pretty sure I never fell asleep in school. So number 7, how many times have you flown in an airplane in the last year? I don't think I've flown anywhere in the last year. If so, it's only been one time I would have flown to Tennessee to see my family. But I don't think I did that within the last year. So number 8, how many foreign countries have you visited? 0. Never left the United States. All my travel has been within the States. Number 9, would you compete in a triathlon if you were somehow guaranteed to win a big gaudy medal? No, I would never compete in a triathlon. It's just not my thing. I can't stick to something long enough to really train for something like that. I get a little bit like bored with some workouts, and I'd have to stay too regimented for something like that. So no, I don't see that happening. Number 10, would you rather be rich and unhappy or poor and happy? I mean, I feel like I should say poor and happy. But there's, in the world we live in, money can be really important. I think I'd still rather be poor and happy, just slightly. Number 11, if you fell into quicksand, would you try to swim or try to float? I would try to float, because I feel like it's futile. If you try and swim in quicksand, you're just going to fall faster. That's what I've seen in all the movies where there's quicksand. The more you struggle, the faster you fall. I think I would probably try to float on it. Number 12? No, sorry. Number 11. Do you ask for directions when you're lost? Yeah, and I get lost. I'm not good at directions, so I'm always going to ask for directions. I'm really bad at directions. I have to have landmarks. I have to have, even though, the GPS will tell me, I still have to have, I look at the directions ahead of time, make sure I kind of have an idea of where I'm going. I'm just not good. I've gotten lost so many times. Now we're at number 12. Have you ever held a Mexican jumping bean? No. 13. Are you more like Cinderella or Alice in Wonderland? Alice in Wonderland, because sometimes I feel like I'm just surrounded by crazy people. No, I love my friends and family. But still, I'd say Alice in Wonderland, because Cinderella spent most of her life kind of alone and isolated, and I have a really great, close-knit family and friends. So no, I feel like I'm more like Alice in Wonderland. Number 14. Would you rather have an ant farm with no ants or a box of crayons with broken points? Well, considering how much I hate bugs, I would rather have a box of crayons with broken points. You can still do stuff with that. If you have an ant farm with no ants, it's pointless. 15. Do you prefer light bread or dark bread? I prefer light bread, except I really like pumpernickel bread, like the bread you get at Outback. That dark bread. But I don't like it necessarily for sandwiches, just for butter. So overall, I would say I prefer white bread. So number 16. Do you prefer scrambled or fried eggs? So this one, I don't have a strong preference one way or the other. It really depends on the mood I'm in at the time I'm making eggs. So if I'm having biscuits with it, I prefer scrambled eggs. If I'm having toast, I prefer fried eggs. So it really just depends on what we're having with it, what my mood is that day. Scrambled eggs are faster, so sometimes I just go with scrambled eggs because they're faster. So there's just a whole thought process that goes with picking my eggs. So number 17. Have you ever been in a car that ran out of gas? I mean, not that I recall off the top of my head, but I'm pretty forgetful about that kind of stuff. And it's probably happened to me that I've just been stopped on the side of the road with no gas. Because I just don't, sometimes I don't think of something until it's too late. So number 18, do you talk in your sleep? Very rarely. It's not something that happens often. I think I have a couple of times, but not common. 19, would you rather shovel snow or mow the lawn? Much rather mow the lawn because that means there's no snow. And I like snow. We get snow here, and I like snow. I don't have issues with it until it gets to be, there's so much snow, or it's coming in April, but I would rather mow the lawn. 20, have you ever played in the rain? Yeah, absolutely. I have, even as an adult. Sometimes don't mind getting wet from the rain or jumping in puddles. It's just, there's something fun about it. And I consider even like driving through a puddle, you're sort of playing in the rain, right? Because you're making the water splash everywhere. 21, did you make mud pies? I don't remember. I don't think so. I've never been really into like getting my hands super dirty outside. I don't really care for planting plants and gardening and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think I made mud pies when I was a kid. Wasn't really something I was into. Number 22. Have you ever broken a bone? Yes. I was 7th or 8th grade. I broke my thumb doing burpees. And then 7 years ago, I fell and basically shattered my wrist bones, and my wrist bones went down into my bones right here. So the bone kind of split down the middle, and all the wrist bones were everywhere, and I had to have surgery. So I have my wrist is actually like 7 pins holding the bones into place, and then there's a metal plate on my actual arm. So I broke the heck out of that. So we are on 23. Would you ever climb a very high tree to save a kitten? I'm really clumsy. I would find somebody else to help get the kitten out, but I don't think it would be right for me to climb a tree. I'm really klutzy, so it's a bad idea. So now we're up to number 24. Can you tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? I might be able to, if I see them side by side. I know that alligators have like wider bills, mouths, snout. I don't know what it's called on an alligator, but I know that alligators have the wider ones, and then the crocodiles have a more thin snout. So I probably could if they were side by side, but if I just saw an alligator, I might not know if it's an alligator or a crocodile just from seeing it by itself. If that makes sense, to have something to compare it to. So the next question is, do you drink Pepsi or Coke? Coke, preferably Diet Coke. But yeah, I'm definitely a Coke drinker for sure. Next question, what's your favorite number? My favorite number is 17. Now, I don't really have a reason. It's not meaningful to me. There's not like some meaning or memory or special thing attached to the number 17. But somewhere along the way, in the course of my adult life, I started using 17 as a number for when I exaggerate. So if I've seen that movie 17 times, or I can't believe you've said this to me 17 times, or that must cost $17 million. So like anytime I try to exaggerate a number, it's always some version of saying 17, and it's just kind of been something that stuck with me. And so 17 is my favorite number. If you were a car, would you be an SUV or a sports car? Not an SUV. I got junk in the trunk. plenty of room. So I'd be an SUV. Have you ever accidentally taken something from a hotel? Never accidentally. I mean, I took the little shampoos. I've taken little soaps. But no, I've never taken something and then like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I took this. I took the things they expect you to take. Do you use regular or deodorant soap? I use body wash. Have you ever locked yourself out of the house? Yes. Not even that long ago. So, a lot of times my husband and I drive to work together. And sometimes on Fridays, if I haven't, enough hours, I will leave early and have to go back and get him. So there was a Friday, I decided to leave early, came home, was going to the car, got into the garage, shut the door, checked to make sure it was locked, and my keys were not in my purse. They were sitting on the kitchen table. So I tried to go out the back door and go around and see if I could get in through the patio. No, I locked that door too because you're supposed to lock your doors. So there was no way for me to get back in the house to get my keys. And my husband was at work with no car because I had the vehicle. So luckily it was right around 2:30-ish and there were other people getting off work at the time. So someone brought my husband to the house. So yeah, I have locked myself out of the house. And then the last question I have for this one is, would you rather make your living as a singing cowboy or as one of the Simpsons voices? I would definitely rather be a voice on The Simpsons. I actually used to think that was going to be my break into Hollywood, was going to be a voiceover artist, and I have a good voice and I can make that happen. So definitely would want to be a voiceover artist. So those are my 33 questions for this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch me, and thank you so much for stopping by. See you in my next video. Bye!